Hey, welcome back to the channel. So I did something I honestly didn't think I was going to do, but I went ahead and ordered the A7C2 even after I kind of dogged a little bit in one of my previous videos. And the deal is what I'm looking for is kind of that mid-range full-frame camera. Like my A7R5 is what I take out when I want to do anything that's, important, or I'm not going to be walking a lot, or I'm doing something in a more professional realm, or things like that. And that camera's great for that. I mean, great. And but it's just a little bit too big, I find sometimes. Like I just think that's kind of a camera that's just not appropriate to take at all times. Like if you just want to go out just for around town with your family, do you really want this big old A7R5 giant camera with a big old 35 to 150 lens on there? No, no. At least I don't, and my family doesn't want me using that when I'm out and about with them. I mean, it just makes you stick out like a sore thumb. So I was, you know, searching for something smaller, and I got this ZVE1. ZVE1 is great. It's great. I love the ZVE1, and a lot of people have different opinions about it. Um, but I tend to really like it. But there are a couple of deal breakers, and it might not have anything to do with maybe it's what you, or maybe what you've heard, or things like that. As far as me personally, a lot of people says it overheats. I only had this camera overheat one time in the however long I've had it. I've had it since it came out, and that was when I went out and filmed, and it was like 95 to 98 degrees, and I was shooting a lot of 60 frames per second in 4K B-roll. It overheated that day. Other than that, hasn't overheated on me one time. I've never even seen the overheat warning. A lot of people say that 12 megapixels is a problem. Personally, I enjoy the 12 megapixels. No, you can't crop a lot and things like that, but there are advantages that come along with it that I enjoy. Now, I'm not talking about photography. There's a difference between photography and taking snapshots. And when I use a camera like this, I'm taking snapshots of my family, pictures when we're out and about, and things like that. It's not a photography camera, okay? What I'm talking about is just like, we're at dinner, I take a picture, or we're standing in front of this, I take a picture. Snapshots, if you will. And it's great for that. 12 megapixels is great for that. And the main reason I like it is because it's so easy to transfer the files from your camera to your phone, either over the wireless connection, or if you have a little dongle for your phone. And it's so fast. It's so fast because the files are so much smaller. And I just love that about the ZVE1. There's a few things I'm looking at the A7C2 to see if it fixes over the ZVE1, and where I'm having issues, I think, with the ZVE1. These things might not be something that you might normally think of, but have become issues for me. The number one thing is the grip of the ZVE1. It is absolutely the smallest little bittiest grip that you can possibly imagine. It's basically just like a little nub, Yeah, you can get a decently hold on the camera and everything, but it is so small. If you get anything over like a little bitty like prime lens or something like that, it becomes really uncomfortable to hold. And I've gotten like a cage, like this small rig cage with this handle on there, and that makes it so much better. I mean, it makes it actually it makes it a pleasure to use. No problem at all with the size of the grip. But the only thing is, when you throw a cage on there this size, it basically becomes the size of a much larger camera. And I try this small, and right now I have a small rig base plate on there. It's just the base plate, and it gives you a little spot for your pinky, but it doesn't help just a whole lot. So the grip is one of the downsides of the ZVE1 for me. And I don't think that the camera is really made to be used that way. It's not really made to be used, with the grip and everything. So I can't fault the camera. It's just the way it is. And another thing to kind of go along with the grip is the zoom rocker. The zoom rocker, the lever sticks off of the end of the grip just a little bit, just a little bit. If you look at the FX3 and if you look at the FX30, the zoom rocker doesn't stick off the end of the grip, so you don't ever accidentally hit it. I have the FX30 never accidentally engage the zoom toggle. With the ZVE1, because it sticks over the edge of the grip a little bit, I'm always hitting it. I'm always engaging the zoom one way or the other. And, I'll take a shot, put my camera down, take another shot, and I'm zoomed in or zoomed out, or it's not where I want it to be. And that's become an issue. And while that might not be the biggest issue in the whole world, maybe not a deal breaker, if you will, it has become a little bit of a hindrance, and just something that, it just bugs me a little bit. And another thing about the camera that can be an issue, may be an issue, is the lack of a viewfinder. And that's more of a personal thing for me. Like, the older I get, the worse my eyes are. And I just have a harder and harder time seeing the screen. Even the little icons on the screen, I have a hard time seeing them. And then when I'm out in the sun, it basically just, washes completely out. I can't see a thing. And I find when I was shooting with my A7R5, I'm always reviewing the pictures in the viewfinder. It has an excellent viewfinder, of course, but I'm always needing something more than just the screen to view what I just took. Of course, this one doesn't have it, so if I'm out in the sun or anything like that, I'm having to depend on just the camera getting what it got. Hopefully it's going to be good enough. Hopefully it's going to be in focus. Hopefully my shots are good, so on and so forth. And you really can't review any of your work. I found that I can't really review any of the work I just did. So if you need to make any kind of adjustment at all, it's pretty difficult on the ZVE1. But it's because you just can't review the footage. You can't just review the photos using the back screen. It's just really, really difficult. So those two things kind of has me looking towards the A7C2. And honestly, I tend to do better and seem to enjoy hybrid style cameras more. So when I'm out and about, I like to do a mixture of photos and videos. So I tend to favor and enjoy hybrid cameras much more than specific cameras, photo specific cameras or video specific cameras. And I really can't fault the ZVE1 for being a photo specific camera with hybrid capabilities, because that's what it was designed to do. That's what it excels at. There's no question about that. It excels at video. It is a great video camera, but I just find myself wanting more photo aspects. I find that it's not built like a hybrid camera. It's not set up like a hybrid camera. And those kind of things are limiting, I find limiting. So that's kind of why I'm looking for a more hybrid-oriented camera. And hopefully the A7C2 will be that camera. But the ZVE1 is a great camera. Don't let anybody tell you any different, because for what it is, it does a great job at doing that. I really want to see which of the cameras that I like the best. I can't keep both of them. I'll say that. I probably will only wind up keeping one of them. I just wanted to see if the A7C2 is going to be any better on those few things. It's not like I have a camera store in my hometown where I can just, jot down to the nearest local camera store, pick up a A7C2, play around with it for a minute, determine if I like it or not, and purchase based on that. No, I live in a small town in the middle of Oklahoma. There's not a camera store within 100 miles. If I want something, I have to order it, get it in, do some testing on it, decide if I like it or not. If I don't, I have to send it back, or keep it. So that's where we're at right now with my small, kind of mid-sized setup. And in the next couple of days, we're going to be getting A7C2 in, and we're going to compare it against the ZVE1 in a lot of different scenarios. So it should be exciting. So hope you'll tune back in for those videos. They should be coming up here in the next week or so. If I have time to shoot them, oh my gosh, I haven't had time to shoot hardly anything. But I got to be doing some testing on it because I need to make a decision, here pretty soon. So if you're interested in seeing any comparisons between the ZVE1 and the A7C2, make sure you check back with the channel, or go ahead and hit subscribe, and we're going to be doing those tests in the next coming week or so. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.